This evening, Hillfoot residents protest the demolition of homes ordered by a court. Gruesome discovery, bodies of mother and daughter found in New Providence residence. Distribution of a 40,000 education cash grant to commence on June 5th. In the region, Uruguay drought, water supplies in capital runs dangerously low. And internationally, India starts mandatory test of cough syrups for export. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for June 1st, 2023. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. In a disturbing turn of events, the lifeless bodies of a 38-year-old woman identified as Petrus Lachman Ross and her 13-year-old daughter Gabrielle Ross were discovered in their New Providence, East Bank Demerara residence. The incident is believed to have occurred between January 23rd and May 31st, 2023. According to preliminary investigations, the victims resided in a single-story wooden and concrete house equipped with security grills within a well-fenced yard. The property was rented by Himachal Lachman, the deceased husband, and a 58-year-old mechanic from Tahal Street, Good Fortune, West Bank, Demerara. Although Lachman moved out of the residence in September of 2022, he continued to pay the rent and occasionally visited his family. The tragedy came to light when Lachman arrived at the house on May 31st around 1 p.m. to check on his wife and daughter. Despite numerous attempts to contact them, there was no response. Growing increasingly suspicious, Lachman sought assistance from a neighbor and together they forced open the front door. Upon entering the residence, they were immediately greeted by an odor emanating from the inside before discovering the partially decomposed bodies lying on the floor. The authorities were swiftly alerted to the scene. During the initial examination, 3 plastic bottles, 1 glass bottle containing an unidentified liquid substance, and 2 cups were found near the bodies. 2 small glass containers containing a whitish substance were discovered from the refrigerator. Additionally, a note was discovered in the living room. Blood samples were taken from both victims for further analysis as part of the investigation process. The bodies were transferred to the Memorial Gardens funeral parlor, awaiting post-mortem examinations. The police interviewed several individuals as the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the deaths of the mother and daughter is ongoing. In other news, residents of Hillfoot Suicide Highway took to the streets in protest on Wednesday night, blocking the Suicide Highway with burning debris after authorities demolished their homes. The demolition, reportedly conducted without prior notice, resulted in a standoff between residents and the police. While some residents claimed that the police assaulted them during the demolition, videos show the police attempting to evacuate residents before their homes were destroyed. The residents stated that a man named Lawrence claimed land ownership but failed to provide documentation supporting his claims. The police stated that the court ordered the demolition, but the residents argued that they were not given any warning. The incident left numerous residents homeless, some with young children, and they demanded a visit from President Dr. Irfan Ali to address the situation. Joint services ranks eventually cleared the highway and restored traffic flow. However, despite the previous efforts by the police to clear the streets, residents once again took to the streets this morning, setting debris on fire as a form of protest against the demolition of their homes. After multiple attempts, the police successfully cleared the debris and made several arrests concerning the protest. Meanwhile, the government has strongly denied involvement in the private dispute between the squatters and the property owner at Hillfoot. They emphasized that the demolition of the structure was carried out by the landowner following a civil court ruling. The government further highlights that Minister Kwame McCoy met with the squatters 2 months ago and assured them that their land applications would be expedited. The government is urging the affected residents to act responsibly and avoid engaging in illegal activities such as blocking the Linden Suicide Highway. A man believed to be the notorious prison escapee Royden Williams, also known as Smalley, was reportedly shot during a confrontation with members of the joint services earlier today. The incident took place at an undisclosed location and investigators were en route to gather further information and evidence. According to a brief statement from the police, the confrontation occurred between the joint services and an individual, resulting in the fatal shooting. The identity of the deceased has not been officially confirmed, but initial reports indicate that the man is believed to be Royden Williams, who had escaped from prison several weeks ago. The police have assured that a comprehensive statement regarding the incident will be released as soon as possible, providing more details about the encounter and the actions taken by the joint services. Royden Williams had a lengthy criminal record and was serving time for multiple serious offenses, including armed robbery, possession of illegal firearm, and kidnapping. His escape from prison had sparked nationwide concern, with authorities launching an intensive search to locate him. Stick around when we return. First Tobacco Clinic opens at Industry Health Center, and distribution of a 40,000 education cash grant to commence on June 5th.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold, and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. It's Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you who don't know nothing, with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she probably buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Make Georgetown beautiful once more with the council that you choose. Keep the city bright for sure, and the heritage we don't lose, and the heritage we don't lose, and the heritage we don't lose. Vote the Independent Citizens for Progress for a better and beautiful Georgetown at local government elections in June.
Problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hi, Mr. Smart. Please stop a minute and just clarify this thing for me.
Oh, Sonel, don't tell me it's local government questions again.
Yeah, boss. How come the local government elections different from the general elections?
Okay, the local government election systems allow for half of the members of the council to be elected through the proportional representation system, just like general elections. And the other half will be elected through the first past the post system. This system allows for one candidate to be elected to represent the constituency where he or she lives. For example, if a council got 30 seats, like the Georgetown municipality, 15 will be elected through the proportional representation system, and the other 15 will be elected through the first past the post system, giving a total of 30 councillors.
So that means that every constituency will have one of its citizens who live there having a seat and representing it at council.
Yes, Sunil, that's correct. And if you need to know anything else about the electoral system for local government elections, just call GCOM. Take care, Sunil.
All right.
Monday, June 12, 2023 is Local Government Elections Day. For further information, contact GCOM or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Over 214,000 children from public and private schools will soon benefit from the annual Because We Care cash grant, coupled with the school uniform and supplies voucher totaling $40,000 per child, as the government will commence distribution countrywide on Monday, June 5th. This was announced by Minister of Education Priya Manichan via the Ministry of Education's Facebook page on Wednesday.
We will begin the distribution of the 2023 cash grant Because We Care on the 5th of June. So next Monday, we begin to distribute to families across this country financial assistance for their children's schooling. As you know, we promised that we would give every family a financial assistance every year. This year, that sum is $40,000 per child. Please note I'm saying per child and not per family. So if you have 4 children going to school, it's going to be $160,000 for that family. If you have 10 children, it's $400,000 for that family.
Minister Manichan explained the eligibility requirements to receive the grant.
The child would have to be going to a private or public school and be in nursery all the way up to grade 10 or at CAPE. If you're going to be doing CAPE, then once you register for CAPE subjects for the new academic year, we'll pay you in or around October. You'll receive that grant. Eligibility really means that you're on the register of a public or private school and that you are attending school, and we got your names from your school. You would be expected to go to the school or the cluster the school is in to uplift. So please pay attention to our schedule that's going to be on social media and other media to see where it is you have to uplift this grant and when you have to uplift the grant.
The Auditor General's Department will oversee the distribution process to ensure transparency. The grant amounts to $8.6 billion in disposable income being made available nationwide. With a budget allocation of $94.4 billion this year, the government continues prioritizing access to quality education, demonstrating its commitment to providing educational opportunities for all Guyanese. In other news, in a proactive movement to combat chronic non-communicable diseases, the Ministry of Health inaugurated its first tobacco cessation clinic on Wednesday at the Industry Health Center. During the launch event commemorating World No Tobacco Day, the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, emphasized smoking as a prominent risk factor for cardiovascular diseases and hypertension, the leading causes of death in Guyana. This clinic aims to assist individuals in breaking free from tobacco addiction through personalized counseling and pharmaceutical therapy administered by healthcare professionals. This clinic aims to assist individuals in breaking free from tobacco addiction through personalized counseling and pharmaceutical therapy administered by healthcare professionals. It will soon be rolled out in 10 other health centers across the country. Before the program's expansion to other health centers, healthcare workers will receive comprehensive training in cessation techniques. This comprehensive approach is part of a more extensive holistic program executed by the ministry's Chronic Non-Communicable Disease Department, which aims to reduce the prevalence of non-communicable diseases and associated illness. This year's World No Tobacco Day is centered around the theme of Grow Food, Not Tobacco. By aligning with this global initiative, Ghana aims to highlight the importance of prioritizing food production and consumption over tobacco cultivation. In a sad and heart-wrenching ceremony, the tight-knit community of Mykobi mourns the loss of 11 young lives as they are laid to rest today. These 11 girls are the last of a total of 19 girls and a 5-year-old boy that tragically perished in the recent fire that engulfed the female dormitory of the Madius Secondary School. The entire town joined hands in solidarity to bid a farewell to these beloved daughters, Natalie Bellarmine and Sherilyn Bellarmine, Andrea Roberts, Loretta Williams, Nicolene Robertson, Lisa Robert, Cleomo Simon, Tristel Thomas, Delicia Edwards, Ariana Edwards, and Sharina Daniels. The funeral service took place in Mykobi, their hometown, where grieving family members, friends, and community members gathered to pay their last respects. Before the final farewell, a short memorial service was held at the Madia airstrip where the children were celebrated and remembered. Scores of residents joined together offering their support and condolences during this difficult time. The outpouring of love and solidarity displayed by the community serves as a testament to the deep bonds shared by the people of Mykobi. The tragic fire incident at the Madius Secondary School's female dormitory has left the entire country in mourning. Don't go away after the break. India starts mandatory tests of cough syrup for export, and Canada's Nova Scotia appeals for help amid unprecedented fires.
Good girl forget things. What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinate soak for all you wanna know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, drought seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document planting flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Make Georgetown beautiful once more with the council that you choose. Keep the city bright for sure, and the heritage we don't lose, and the heritage we don't lose, and the heritage we don't lose. Vote the Independent Citizens for Progress for a better and beautiful Georgetown at local government elections in June.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Miss Anne! Miss Anne!
Oh, hi, darling.
Help me out with this thing, man. You just know everything. What's all this talk about local government election?
Local government refers to the mayor and councillors who manage the affairs of our towns, like Georgetown, and the chairman and councillors of the Neighborhood Democratic Council.
Oh, but why is that important to me?
Dolly, it is very important. Every day, local government officials make decisions that affects you, your family, and the community. They serve the people within the community in which they were elected.
Miss Anne, me not understand all them big words you use there. Tell me what local government does do.
All right, Dolly. Local government is responsible for maintaining and protecting public property, like our community centers and the playgrounds, for collecting the garbage, maintenance of the streets, cleaning of the drains and the carpets, and so much more.
Oh, I now understand. Thanks, Miss Anne.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna show off for me friends them why I will vote at the local government elections.
That's a good thing. Let's go.
Monday, June 12, 2023 is Local Government Elections Day. For further information, contact GCOM or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. A historic drought in Uruguay has dried out the reservoirs that provide water for the country's capital, Montevideo. Low rainfall and high temperatures across the southern region of South America have also hit crops in neighboring Argentina. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports.
This group has been getting together for more than a year to cook for those in need. But providing food is not the main concern these days, it's drinking water. Alexis Alonso says the water coming from the tap is undrinkable because it has too much sodium.
We used to cook with tap water and now we can't because it's too salty. So we changed how we cook and use bottled water. It's a concern because too much salt is not healthy and everyone is worried.
The water is salty because low reserves of fresh water force the public water company to mix supplies with water from the River Plate. The result is low levels of sodium and chlorides. Even though Uruguay sits on large water reserves, the deficit is the worst in over 70 years. The river that provides most of the drinking water in the capital of 1.6 million people has been severely affected by the drought.
This is the Paso Severino Dam. It is just one of the water sources that feeds Uruguay's capital, Montevideo. It has a capacity for 67 million cubic meters of water, but right now it has only 4 million. It is just one example of how serious the situation is right now.
The government has been distributing drinking water to hospitals, schools and other buildings in the capital that are in desperate need. Experts say the region needs to be better prepared to adapt to the impact of climate change.
Climate change is a reality and we know that we will have to adapt to extreme weather changes. And we will see this again, and that's why we need to be prepared, do more research, take care of our water sources that are abundant.
In Montevideo, people are trying to adapt to the lack of water, but not everyone is happy.
Water is a human right, and we are on the reserves of the Guarani aquifer, and we have no water. Politicians need to give us an explanation and give us solutions. It's not only the drought that is affecting us.
People here know the capital's reservoir has only a few days left of water. That's why everyone is hoping it will rain soon. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Montevideo, Uruguay.
Internationally, compulsory testing of India's cough medicines meant for export comes into effect on Thursday. The child deaths in Gambia and Uzbekistan last year were linked to contaminated cough syrup from large Indian generic drug makers. Al Jazeera's Zain Bashravi has more.
For dozens of children, a cough cost them their lives. To blame? Contaminated batches of some generic medicines made in India. The incidents prompted health warnings from the United Nations and swift action from authorities. All cough medicine now needs to clear government testing before it is sold abroad.
Previous year's incidents have dented image of India's manufacturers. This government rule for additional tests will strengthen our quality control systems and help our business grow. It will help in improving our image and also increase demand of Indian products.
Putting lives before profits has become essential to healing a battered reputation. But some in the pharmaceutical industry say the government's decision is a knee-jerk reaction.
It's an illogical decision taken by the authorities. They want ease of doing business, but at the same time they are creating these hurdles. You manufacture the product, you test it, and then you send it to the government lab for testing. They take 15 to 20 days, and that will delay the shipment unnecessarily.
India produces large quantities of affordable generic drugs every year. Most are exported to low-income countries. Annual sales of cough syrup alone are around $17 billion, out of a $41 billion industry. In recent years, manufacturing practices of many companies have come under scrutiny due to poor quality control.
What happens to the domestic cough syrup? Because this notification applies only to export, cough syrup that's being exported. But Indians consume a lot of cough syrup. And there have been cases in India where children have died because of, DEG poisoning, because the cough syrup was contaminated. And the government has taken absolutely no steps in this regard. So it just basically shows that the government is not really serious. This is more like a PR move to let its export partners know that it's doing something.
Industry observers say other medicines have also caused tragedies in India and around the world. And the government needs to overhaul the regulatory process for all drugs. The new rules that apply only to cough syrup are little more than a band-aid. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera.
And finally, Nova Scotia's top official says the Eastern Canadian province will take all the support we can get as crews battle out of control blazes, Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports.
Wildfires are burning unchecked and out of control across Nova Scotia, destroying homes and sending people fleeing for their lives. At least 16,000 people have been evacuated, and hundreds of structures, including houses, have been incinerated. Towering clouds of smoke could be seen in cell phone video taken aboard a passenger jet. Officials say they believe the fires were very likely caused by humans, a result of campfires getting out of control.
It's so very, very dry. And on that point, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind everyone of the importance of not burning.
The province has banned all travel and outdoor activities, including camping, hiking, and fishing.
The forests are simply too dry. The conditions are too volatile. We can't accept any more risk of additional fires.
Clouds of smoke from the burning woods have moved south into the U.S. In Massachusetts, a choking haze blanketed towns. The murky air and a campfire-like odor reached New York City. Officials there and in other cities declared air quality alerts, urging vulnerable people to stay inside. Meanwhile, Nova Scotia's Premier Tim Houston says the province desperately needs more equipment, more firefighters, more resources.
We want and we need, and we will take all the support we can get.
The best hope is for a break in the weather. Several days of showers are forecast beginning on Friday. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. Save TV2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast and in the evening at 7 for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.